Sarah had just moved into a new apartment in a quiet neighborhood. It wasn't fancy, but the rent was surprisingly cheap, and she thought she had gotten lucky. The landlord, an older man named Mr. Collins, seemed nice, maybe a little too nice, but Sarah brushed it off as friendliness. For the first few days, everything felt fine. But then Sarah started noticing small, strange things. She would wake up to find her kitchen cabinet slightly open when she was sure she had closed it. Her bedroom window blinds seemed to be tilted differently. At first, she blamed herself, maybe she was just being forgetful. One night, after coming home from work, she took a shower and wrapped herself in a towel. As she passed by her mirror, something unusual caught her eye. There was a tiny blinking red light coming from behind the frame. Sarah froze. Her heart pounded as she stepped closer. She carefully pulled the mirror from the wall, only to reveal a small black object taped behind it. It was a hidden camera. Sarah's blood ran cold. Her hands shook as she examined it. The camera had been recording her bedroom for God knows how long. Horrified, she searched the rest of her apartment and found 2 more cameras, one in the smoke detector above her bed and another in the vent facing her shower. Panicking, she grabbed her phone and called the police. While waiting, she ran out of the apartment and sat in her car, sobbing. When the police arrived and checked the cameras, they found that they were connected to a laptop registered to none other than Mr. Collins. It turned out that Sarah wasn't the first victim. The landlord had been offering cheap rent to young women, secretly filming them, and selling the footage online. Sarah was lucky she discovered it before things got worse. The police arrested him that night, but Sarah could never shake the feeling of being watched again. Every mirror, every vent, every smoke detector haunted her for years to come. Jake loved hiking alone. Nature was his escape from the stress of city life, and the forest near his cabin felt like a second home. He had been hiking the same trails for years and thought he knew every path by heart. But one chilly autumn evening, something felt off. As he walked along a muddy trail, he noticed a second set of footprints behind his own. They were larger, deeper, and definitely fresh. Jake stopped and turned around, scanning the trees. No one was there. He shook it off, convincing himself that maybe someone had just passed earlier. But as he continued, an uneasy feeling settled in his stomach. The forest was too quiet, no birds, no rustling leaves, just silence. Then he heard it, a faint whistle echoing through the trees. 3 short notes, repeated again and again. "Hello," Jake called out, his voice shaky. No response. He picked up the pace, glancing over his shoulder. The whistling grew louder, following him no matter which way he turned. Fear clawed at his chest. Whoever it was, they were playing with him. By the time Jake reached his cabin, it was almost dark. He fumbled with his keys, locked the door, and grabbed his hunting rifle. Trying to calm his racing heart, he peeked out the window. That's when he saw it. A figure stood just beyond the tree line, half hidden in the shadows. The person didn't move, didn't speak, just stared at him, smiling. Jake called the police, but by the time they arrived, the figure was gone. The officers told him it was probably just a prank. But Jake knew better. The next morning, he found something chilling near his door. A set of footprints, fresh, deep, encircling the cabin, as if someone had spent the entire night walking around, waiting for him to come out. Emily had been driving for hours on an empty highway when she spotted a small, rundown motel with a neon sign that flickered weakly. She was exhausted and decided to check in for the night. The man at the front desk barely spoke, sliding her a key without looking at her. Her room was simple, just a bed, a small table, and a window with dusty curtains. At around 2 a.m., Emily woke up to a faint knocking sound. Half asleep, she thought she had dreamed it, until she heard it again. Then came a voice. A man's voice, soft and unsettling, whispering through the door. "I saw you through the window, you're so beautiful." Emily's heart pounded. She sat up, frozen. The knocking grew louder, the voice more desperate. "Come on, open the door. I just want to see you." Terrified, she grabbed her phone and dialed the front desk. No answer. She peeked through the peephole, and her blood ran cold. A man stood there, grinning, holding a rusty crowbar. Emily silently called 911. The operator told her to stay quiet and hide. As she backed away, the man began hitting the door with the crowbar. "Let me in," he screamed. Suddenly, footsteps thundered down the hall. Another voice shouted, "Police! Get down!" The man tried to run but was tackled by officers. Emily learned later that the man had been a wanted criminal, responsible for several murders at motels just like this one. The motel clerk. He wasn't an employee, he had been working with the killer. David, a college student, had been feeling uneasy in his dorm room for weeks. Small things would go missing, snacks, clothes, and sometimes he'd wake up feeling like someone had been watching him as he slept. One night, after hearing strange creaks, David decided to check his room. Slowly, he opened his closet door. Inside, crouched in the dark, was a man holding a kitchen knife. The intruder lunged at him, but David slammed the door and screamed for help. His roommate burst in, and together they held the door shut until campus security arrived. It turned out the man had been secretly living in the dorm for days, sneaking out at night to watch David sleep and eat their food. When police searched the intruder's bag, they found a diary full of disturbing notes about David, every move he made, every class he attended. David moved out immediately, but he never forgot that chilling feeling of being watched, even in the place he thought was safest.